No, don't carve your own leg! My king! Oh! God damn, that's spooky! Imagine being stuck in a cave and that shit happening. Oh no, he got the cum web on him. Oh, never mind, he good. He's a Beyblade, let her rip. With the way they handled the intro of the episode, I really thought this was going to be a very quick battle, but the waves of everything. Oh my god. The buzzsaws? The exploding sword? Ooh. This is lasting way longer than I was expecting. You know, whether or not he was a real king to begin with, at this point, I'm following this guy to the ends of the earth. That's my fucking king right there. Oh no. Okay, that's doable still. I thought he was getting stabbed through the chest. This has got to be the funniest character still, though. Bro's literally just a savage mad dog that attacks things. That's bad. That looks horrible. How do you... Oh no, don't tell me he cuts off his own leg. Holy shit! Bro! One hell of a king. You know, there's a lot of ways to do gore, and I really appreciate the Playing Death Game show airing this season, because it doesn't really show visual gore, but still gets across that disgust. But you can't deny watching a man carve into his own leg to free himself from the beast, and seeing shots like these. Not only that, but seeing the agony in his face and watching the tendons and the muscles just pull. And I always have to remind you, this show don't just look like MUSHOKU Tensei for shits and giggles. This is someone who is involved with MUSHOKU Tensei, and just watching that level of detailed animation and art direction for body mutilation, I ain't lying. Maybe it's a mixture of I start these videos on an empty stomach. Maybe that has something to do with the nausea because I starve myself in the mornings. It is what it is, but I ain't gonna deny that was pretty fucking sick in all the most twisted ways possible. Jesus! If you got this far in the video though, make sure you drop a like, help show your support, subscribe. If you're new around here, ring that bell. Stay up to date on everything I'm watching. Of course, Patreon for live reactions and exclusives will live over there. Also helps fund the channel. Videos just like these. I mean, it's crazy too, because initially when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking to myself, damn, like that's gotta hurt. It's not just that there's like a weird, I don't know, organ wrapped around you. It's the fact that it's not just simply wrapped around, there's spikes going through every which angle. Like, that's agony. There was a brief moment when I first saw this, and because it happened so quickly, I didn't have a lot of time to properly process it, but I thought to myself, yeah, cutting your leg off here might make sense, but, you know, you could cut this away. And when he first starts swinging, it does just kind of look like he's trying to cut the meat. But I guess when that doesn't work, there's only one option, right? I feel like it was just such a hard material. Like, it was so... Because, like, when you wind something up, it's easy to cut through a rope, but if that rope is wrapped around so much, you ain't gonna cut through that. The only option, I guess, is to carve out your own leg, and when you're a mad king, it's probably the only way to do it. Like, this dude's face and everything, like, I have respect for him, not only just for that moment, but he actually held his own against a demon lord making them all go crazy. For a guy who's seemingly absolutely insane, now, not the most insane of the cast, we do have a mad dog who acts like a Beyblade who just runs around, and after he's done, Eren Yeager deflates himself. But the fact that he was actually able to hold against the demon mother there pretty well, Jesus. And I do have to say, though, this man's talented, of course. He was, like, hand carving in some blessings and the like. This is not my theory. I've seen a couple people say it. It would be fascinating if this guy does turn out to be a king. Like, it's not just all crazy delusions. Like, what if he was a king who got, like, completely screwed over? Maybe someone wanted political power, fucked with his head, cast him aside, and now no one takes him seriously, but he actually was a king. That would be quite interesting, you know? I don't know if it'd be like a Game of Thrones route where maybe someone didn't want the throne and basically removed all ties to it. Given his weird mental state, if that is the case, I think it wouldn't have been intentional, but either way, false king or not, I would follow this man to the ends of the earth. I really would. Like, he's fucking crazy, but given what I've seen of leadership in the world, there's only one character not on the hero side that I feel like I could follow and believe that I probably would make it out alive, or at least would die for someone I believe in. And that, of course, is her. So she does end up coming to their rescue. Now, I think the argument she probably made to allow them to go in, because before this, right, it was justified as going in is basically killing all your men. So she has to value her men's life. But because the goddess snuck in after, she easily could have made the argument, well, we can't lose a goddess. A goddess outnumbers the lives of our own people. We have to go save the goddess. But I think deep in her heart, she used that as a justification for them, but she probably just wanted to help. Because we really saw, even though she has a very strong opinion on heroes, we have to consider the fact this isn't just some antagonist to hate or a girl with no logic to her emotions, right? No, like she has a very good head on her shoulders, and it's believable why she has such a strong gut negative reaction towards Hero, because she was raised in a world that treats you that all heroes are bad. There was literally only one person who actually came over to give them thanks after rescuing. Everyone else was like, oh, they're heroes, they must be criminals, because that's how indoctrinated the world is, because that's how they were raised to treat heroes. They're a tool to be used sometimes, but they're criminals. So most likely, over time, she's going to break away from the church doctrine and everything like that. But at the moment, this is the best we could hope for this army side. And we shouldn't take that for granted because she's doing really well. But I mean, the production and everything in the show is insane because we have to consider we've basically seen 5 episodes of this show. The first episode was an hour long, and I think 1 episode worth of that content wasn't really action. It feels insane that I think 70% of this show is nonstop Sakuga action. And I don't know how they're going to keep it up, but if it wasn't going to keep up, we would have already seen the cracks in the production, and the cracks aren't here. There's insane attention to detail put into what I describe as centipedes mixed with the globe, that being the Earth. They were cutting through them. You see everything ripped. The prolapsed anus animation for their mouths when they're trying to stare you down. I don't know why they did that, but it was animated disgustingly well. Everything about this show, I feel like it shouldn't exist on a production level. Like, it gets to a point where you're like, okay, like, this is like, oh my god, the Sakuga of the season. This is so fucking good, right? There is that, but then it gets to a point where I'm like, this has to be a movie-level production that truly had time to refine every single frame. I don't know how they're doing it. I really don't. Like, this is a season that has Jujutsu Kaisen. This is a season that has Fate. And those are animated well. The fights are going to be godly. No one's going to deny that. But I don't think there's a single show this season that's going to clear the show on visual production. I don't know if that'll end up being a hot take, but I do think that's facts. I'm absolutely loving this show, and I think the best part and the biggest compliment I can give, a lot of people will hype the show up because of its action, and I think the action deserves to be hyped up. But this is a show with as much attention to the characterization and the stories and the way people feel in this world as much as it does have the Unga Boonga action. Both of those work hand in hand to create the most entertaining hero fantasy story that you could possibly do. And whether or not you like it, I mean, the MUSHOKU TENSEI comparisons with the production need to be stated over and over again. Not only will it get more eyes on the show, but it legitimately has that good of fucking production. Your thoughts down below. Drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around, and ring that bell on Patreon for live reactions and exclusives. Like, hey, I love to give video shoutouts to my wonderful patrons because they make these videos possible. So today we got Yuko, Saladin, X Fortis, Just Miku's Simp, Papa Golf Whiskey, Reunion, Pancakes, Dershers, Shaple, Nathan Jones, and we also have Sarah Linda. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. Y'all have a good one.